ladies and gentlemen, for the 871st time, it is the Mason and Friends Show, featuring that dude called Mike.
Yeah.
As well as myself, Mahoney. Welcome to the Mason and Friends Show.
What's happening, y'all? What's good out there today? Oh, Twilight Zone intro, boy.
Oh, yeah, man. We're in the Twilight Zone right now.
Yo, have you ever seen the new Twilight Zone stuff?
Not that I can recall.
With, yeah, I was hoping you did because I haven't seen it either. What's his name?
I know they did like a second run at some point.
Yeah, this had to be back when Jordan Peele first started directing because he was the host of it.
Okay, it was Jordan Peele stuff.
Yeah, he was the host of it. He didn't have anything with the directing of it, which I think
was the
good.
Rod Sterling of it.
Yeah.
So he was probably the producer then.
Something on. He had to be something on it at some point, but I wanted to go see. I wanted to check them out because I forgot it was something I saw on Instagram. It was like a little snippet of a show, and they're like, "Oh, this is Twilight Zone episode, whatever season, whatever." And I'm like, "Huh." That clip actually looked good, so I was like, I might actually go check out these Twilight Zone. I don't even know, they're not remakes, but right, I guess updated
redux or
whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who knows what you'd really call it?
Yeah, but I want to check it out because I'm like, let me see what's working. Because Twilight Zone, I love it. I still watch when it comes on. I will still watch it,
dude. It's some of the best stuff.
Like the writing.
Yep. It's back when writing mattered.
Yes, yeah.
The writing actually really fucking mattered.
Like, granted, the acting is overboard, but, at that time...
Some of it's on point. I mean, if you see that... Did you ever see the Twilight Zone movie? Where they made just episodes into a movie and spliced it all together. Like, they redid certain episodes. Like, there's, in the movie, they've got John Lithgow playing the guy on the plane that sees the gremlin out on the wing that's trying to rip apart the plane.
Yeah.
And in the TV show, it was William Shatner.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Right? So they redid it with better effects in a movie form.
Okay.
With John Lithgow on the plane. And, I don't know, man. Like, it's just really high quality conceptual shit that they're doing.
But
with the Twilight Zone.
The crazy part is when I look at old Twilight Zone shit, I know the movies that came from some episodes.
It's derivative. You see the derivative stuff that comes from the Twilight Zone input.
And I'm like, oh shit, they drug. I know what movie came out of this shit right here.
Right.
Yeah, I see where the concept for this movie came from, because this was done in 55, 54, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Movie didn't come out till 97, 2010 type shit.
Well, and it's got to do with like the effects and stuff a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Like, if you've seen The Thing.
Yeah, I saw the
1980
with
version.
What's his name?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, yep. And then I seen the newer one.
I haven't seen the newer one that's like a prequel to the 1980s one.
I thought that. Well, I guess that would be a prequel to it. Yeah,
it's supposed to be a prequel, like leading up to what happens at the beginning of the old one. But the old one is based on a short story that somebody put out in like 1920 or 30 or whatever.
Yeah,
and they had made a movie in like 38 or 45 or some such like that was didn't have nearly the conceptualization of what's going on through the effects that they have in the 1980 version. But from what I hear or have read or watched on things online, it appears that newer one they didn't do a lot of practical effects. They let the computers do it all, and it doesn't look as good as the 80s version does because of how much puppetry they were using to make all of like the monster effects and everything work.
That makes sense,
Yeah.
I mean, CGI does do wonders on some shit though. Like,
oh yeah,
I went and seen the Deadpool Wolverine joint. Now, I'm not gonna spoil this for anybody because I actually enjoyed this movie. Like,
That's some bullshit.
I did enjoy this motherfucker.
You need to fucking spoil that motherfucker. I've heard good and bad about it, but mostly bad.
It's good if you have been a fan of the Marvel. If you watch Marvel from its beginnings.
You mean the movie Marvel, the MCU, if you will.
Not even the MCU Marvel.
So you're talking like if you were a kid reading Marvel.
Like when with Blade and Daredevil and all that shit came out.
Do they reference all this stuff?
Bruh, there's so many fucking
So it's that
cameos.
layered?
Yeah, it's so many fucking cameos of shit in there. You know, not only if you're a fan of those movies, but the comic books. The cameos from the comic books that you see that are referenced, you're like, I'll be damned. Okay, I see where they're going with some shit now. But it's done in a way to where it's, you know that they're fucking doing this shit. Like, you know, Deadpool is a character.
Self-aware.
Yeah, Deadpool is one of those characters that knows he's a comic character.
He's always been self-aware.
Yeah, he's always done the fourth wall shit. So the shit that happens in it, you're like, okay, it does make sense to happen in this movie because of his character.
Well, like how I understand that, you know, Wolverine's dead in the one reality, but that he goes to a different reality where Wolverine's just a fuck up to get him to come help him.
He finds all the variants of Wolverine. Like, if you watch...
Now, that must be funny.
If you read comic books, like, people were saying how Wolverine isn't done right in the comic books because Wolverine technically is like 5'3", short motherfucker.
Right.
He goes, first fucking Wolverine he runs into is the short fucking Wolverine. I'm like, I'll be damned. They gave a shout out to the short Wolverine. They give a shout out to the Weapon X Wolverine, the Savage Land Wolverine, the Wolverine versus Hulk Wolverine, with a shout out to the Hulk in the movie. You know what I mean? With the reflection of the Hulk. Like,
so basically, it's like Easter Egg City.
Like a motherfucker,
and
man.
For cats like you.
You catch all.
Yeah.
I know I missed some Easter eggs in it because it was so much.
They did it so dense that you got to go back and watch that shit again.
And that's why I would go back just to see what I missed, because I knew my son didn't understand a lot of the shit, because there was cats in there that were like, oh shit, you know, doing the same reaction I had, and my son's like, what the fuck? I'm like, you wasn't born.
Yeah, spend 30 years reading comics.
When these characters were out, you don't understand the referencing that they're using right now. You know, granted, it's not
a good movie, but it's good for what it is.
Yes, let's put it that way. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's not the best motherfucking joint out there by far, but for what it is and for what it was supposed to do, it did its job. You know, there's some shit that didn't make sense. I didn't even give a fuck because of the cameos that were in that bitch and how they played everything out to make shit work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was entertained by that. It brought back characters from old movies that were done. You know, the original X-Men movie, they brought characters from that motherfucker, the actors that played those characters.
So they hit a lot of references. They were real deep with it.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you are that big of a head, if you're a Marvel head, you will love Deadpool.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But if you ain't never seen it, you're not going to give a fuck.
You don't want to spoil it. You don't want to be like, then Captain Picard came out.
Yeah, and all this shit, you know. Because fucking, it's enjoyable to a person that is like, you know, we know Marvel movies fucking, they do their fucking thing. They had their own spin.
Yeah.
Fox had their own shit to it. But I think it was like Fox saying, here, we're gonna give you. You bought these characters back. These are your characters now. But here's what we did with the characters, and y'all can do whatever with them now, since they're yours. Here, do whatever you want with the characters now. You know what I mean?
Well, and you know, have you heard that apparently they are bringing a Avengers Doomsday?
Yep, with Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey playing Doom. That don't seem to make much sense to me. But
it don't. But
Sony was saying, well, they can multiverse spin that shit into like Tony Stark went out, became Doom in some alternate reality.
And Deadpool says a thing in the movie where it's like, you know, they're like, they've done the multiverse so many times and they fucked it up so many fucking times.
Yeah, but in the concept of multiverse, however many times you fuck it up, there's multiverse worth of multiverses you could try it again.
Exactly, and that's the concept of Deadpool. The Deadpool Wolverine shit is like, look, there's so many fucking versions of shit out here. It doesn't matter what the fuck you do. And it's funny because he says it on camera. He looks like, look, Marvel fucked up the multiverse so bad. This is like the 5th multiverse kind of thing. Fuck it. Let's just have some fun with this shit. And I'm like, that's exactly what they do. They play with this motherfucking shit. It works. It is entertaining to those that are Marvel fans. It would be entertaining to anybody that watched this shit or read comic books.
Like Martin Scorsese isn't going to go in and be like, this is a great movie.
Yeah, he's not.
But, you know, there's plenty of people that read a lot of comics that'll go in there and be like, hey, this is fucking awesome.
I fuck with this shit. It was funny. Now, granted, it's not for no little kid. It is not for the young-minded motherfuckers. Unless you want to fuck them up, then by all means take them. Because the humor in it.
You're readily admitting that it's not at all something that you should have taken your son to see?
No. My son's old enough. He's good with it. You know what I mean? Plus, he's been around me his whole life. So I
was going to say. Yeah, he's kind of fucked up.
You know?
Anyway.
Because, like, with the motherfuckers, he's getting mind fucked by a bitch, man. It is funny as shit. The sexual content that they put in there without having to be sexually, you know, showing no dildos or anything like that. But the mentions of shit, the way they're talking. Cocaine is like a highlight in the movie throughout the whole fucking movie. It's a lot of cocaine talk, you know what I mean? And so, but
I don't even do cocaine, and I love it. Like, it's not even something I really want in my life. But I'm all for it.
It's just it's a good chill fucking movie to go see. Like it wasn't too long. I think it ran its course like it was supposed to run, and it sets up shit for, you know, oncoming events to happen.
So you want them to make more Wolverine, Deadpool movies?
Nah, they don't even need to make another Wolverine Deadpool movie. They could have left it alone right there. And,
so what do you want next out of Marvel? Because, I mean, Doomsday is not what you want.
Nah. Well, I don't know. It depends on how they do it. Because the Russo brothers are coming back. The Russo brothers are coming back to direct the 2 Avenger movies that they got, apparently. And the Russo brothers were the ones that did the Endgame.
So there's just enough there for you to be like, oh, I'm kind of excited now.
Yeah, because I know the directors and I know what they did with Endgame and, you know, all that shit.
I tell you, I genuinely hope they don't disappoint you.
That I hope not either, because I'll let them know.
Because I have low expectations of all movies at this point.
Like, we was watching TV when we was watching the Olympics, and we'll get to that here in a second, but there was what's it called? Trapped. It's a horror movie that's coming out about this it's a concert where people are at, and basically there's a serial killer in the concert.
Oh yeah, I saw that preview.
And the concept, the shit looked like it was going to be okay.
The serial killer is trapped in the concert because they know he's going to be there.
They know he's going to be there, but they don't know who he is. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it looked like it'd be
riot
cool
or whatever is what it looks like.
But as soon as it said who it's directed by, I said, well, fuck it, I ain't even gonna watch this bitch.
Who's the director?
M. Night.
Oh yeah.
As soon as they put him up there and said PG-13, I said, oh, this motherfucker's gonna suck. You can't, in my mind, do a fucking killer movie PG-13.
I think you could.
You could, but
you have to have. It'd have to be very smart.
That's it. It has to be written
right. I do not have faith in the M. Night Shyamalan to have done that.
No,
right?
Because
he got his one hit, and he's turned it into a career.
He's got a couple. He's got a few. The Sixth Sense was good. I enjoyed Unbreakable, Glass, and Split. I enjoyed that trilogy.
Well, but that's all sort of like pseudo superhero shit, right? Like it's sort of off genre superhero.
Yeah.
And that to me is why you like it. Because you were into superheroes.
That's also true.
I think that gives it like.
But see, I also like the alien shit, and I hated Signs. Signs pissed me off bad.
That's because M. Night Shyamalan sucks.
Yeah, he does.
Like
The Village was a disappointing fucking movie, yo.
I haven't seen any of it. Like, I can't think of M. Night Shyamalan movie I've actually watched.
I've taken the time to try to see if he's gonna do better, because some of his shit. you run across something that's decent.
Well, like I had faith, right, that like The Sixth Sense was good, but my mom spoiled it for me. She was like, he's dead, right? And I was like, no, I didn't. But
oh, damn! So
thanks,
damn,
cool.
you didn't even get to the end,
yeah,
man.
And I never even watched it. I never sat
so
down.
you never
right? She spoiled it for me before I even ever was gonna watch it, And then like every other M. Night Shyamalan movie, everybody always complains about
because you think you're gonna get something like The Sixth Sense, but he fucks it up. There was a movie called Old.
He's trying too hard to remake the thing that got him where he's at.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I think that might be it, because Old was stupid. Old was like, these people, they're tourists. They go to this fucking
sounds like they're
beach.
just flipping Cocoon.
Yeah, it was, because they're on the beach, and then all of a sudden motherfuckers are starting to age, and they're slowly fucking dying because of
some sort of radiation or some shit.
It's something about the water.
Yeah, there's something in the water.
And they have to swim past the coral reef. Once they get past the coral reef, and I don't know how they figured it out, but to get past the coral reef, and you stop aging, you know, but you've already aged.
What, you just gonna live in the water now?
No, because there's people on top of the fucking... The resort.
Right, I'm already done.
It's already fucked up.
I'm already done
There's
with
a resort they go to.
Like, that's my gripe with a lot of these kinds of movies is where, like, don't make a movie where you have to explain everything.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of shit.
Right? Like the story we were talking about making maybe a short film with, right?
Yeah.
People understand ghosts.
Yep.
We're not even giving nothing away. If we do like some ghost-related shit, like, we don't have to explain to you what a ghost is.
Nope.
We don't have to break down the concept and explain to you like what's going on. It's like that movie, like a lot of Christopher Nolan movies are really cool, but like there's a lot of explaining going on.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever those movies are, and I appreciate it because he does it well. So I could give that chance, you know what I mean? But M. Night Shyamalan, I've like I said, I'm sure I must have seen something that he made, but I can't tell you anything that
all
he's made
of them
that I've
have
seen.
They don't make sense sometimes. Knock at the cabin or knock at the door, something like that. Was Tista,
and that's the complaint I always hear from all sorts of people about M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Is that the movie just doesn't really make sense.
It don't. They like knock at the cabin, knock on the cabin, something like that. That didn't make sense at all. Like, I watched it because it was free. All right, let me see.
See, there you go, wasting time.
It's just, it's
watching
something.
bad M. Night Shyamalan movies because
like,
they don't cost you nothing but time.
They cost me shit. Like, if I'm able to clean up the house with noise in the background, I'm good. Like, I'm cleaning, you know, I'm doing something.
I can appreciate that because you want something on that's not going to actually capture your attention.
I know I'm not going to sit here and take time to focus on this bitch.
That's why I like Star Trek, because I can listen to most of it and look at it at certain
and you know
points.
you're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's just old Star Trek, like the episodic Star Trek that I like.
Yeah.
When it's like every episode is its own sort of thing.
You're gonna sit there and take
but it's a contained series in a sense that like we remember what happened 3 episodes ago. We don't really bring it up most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like now Star Trek a lot of the times is like, okay, here's like a movie plot line that we're breaking up over 10 or 15 episodes.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate to a degree, but it's like it's not doing what Star Trek really is. And I think that Brave New Worlds series might be delving back into that.
Gotcha.
But I haven't taken the time to really figure out if it is or isn't.
Gotcha.
But like that's what I loved about the original series, The Next Generation.
Yeah.
Even Deep Space Nine. Like,
see, I never got the Deep Space. I think I stopped at Next Generation.
Deep Space Nine came along like towards the end of Next Generation, and it has like a lot of like Israel-Palestine kind of vibes, context going to it. You know, it's very interesting the way it's done.
Bruh, speaking of that shit,
like it's intelligent.
So Thursday, took the kids and wifey to the African American History Museum in DC, right? First of all,
were they playing drums? Anybody playing the drums?
No, man. The shit was huge. The whole fucking place is huge as shit, you know. And we didn't get through all of it. Like, we was there for fucking hours, you know. And there was parts that were interesting. I enjoyed, but there was parts that I was like, this shit really doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like, why is this here?
Like what?
They had this fucking collard green pot. It's a pot that every black hole has. If you ever been to a black person's house,
black household house, a collard green pot.
It's a silver pot. Any black person will tell you this big ass silver pot that they cook collard greens in. Every black
because you put a lot of greens in it.
Yeah, every black family.
You ain't just cooking 2 or 3 now.
Has this fucking pot, right?
Every black family.
There's not a single black family.
Now watch out now, you know, like it might be a black family out there don't got no collard green pot.
They do, but they probably don't call it a collard green pot. I'm just telling you, they have it. They have it. It's a standard pot.
Well, Mike, then we got a collard green pot right in this house.
You probably do, but you just ain't calling it that. You know what I mean? So,
if you want to cook some collards, though, I got this pot right here. Probably do a good job.
They had this shit displayed, right? And I'm like, what's the deal with the pot? And fucking
that seems like a joke. Like this would be in a racist movie.
Bro,
you know what I mean? Like we would go to the African American History Museum, and there would be a collard green exhibit.
Look, Sarah's the one that pointed out because I'm reading something about the
it's blowing by you. You're not even noticing.
No, she's over there reading. I'm reading something else about fucking this basket that was like woven by fucking a woman from Nigeria or whatever. Like, so I'm thinking, okay, what significance is this? What does this have to do with anything?
Sure.
And I'm reading, and she goes, baby, you ain't gonna believe this shit. And I'm like, what? She's telling me, she's reading the fucking description. She's like, this is
a traditional collard green pot.
This is one of the oldest pots in D.C. And I'm like, what?
What? Shut up.
I said, wait, what
this is one of the oldest collard green pots in D.C. This thing goes back to slavery.
And she goes,
slaves made collards in this.
That's just it.
So
it didn't even go back to, man, it went to like, it was like 1950 or something. I shit you not, bro. I was like, what? So a lot of the shit on because we went to the 4th floor first, because I was like, if we start at the top and work down, we're gonna be good. So there was so much shit up there that I didn't care for that didn't make any fucking sense. Like,
was it offensive to you or it just was dumb?
It irked my nerve. Like, I don't even know if I was offended by it. I was more pissed off, like, because I didn't pay for nothing. It was free, so I'm like, I can't get mad.
Well, museums are free a lot of the times. You just go
but
in.
I remember when they first opened up, people had to pay for this place, you know? So I'm like, people pay for this bullshit right here? Like, all right, whatever. So we go through that shit, and I'm like, there's got to be more to this. So there was an art section, like another spot that had, like, people's artwork. And the title...
African American artwork.
The title was revolutionary, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna have some artist depictions of, you know, the civil rights movements and all this other shit, right? That's what I'm thinking when I go in here.
Like you're gonna go and there's gonna be a really nice painting of Martin Luther King standing out in front of the crowd.
Any fucking thing. It wasn't that.
What was it?
It was like photography of the Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm like, okay, that's significant in African American history, but where's the other shit? Like, there was a pencil drawing of not Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks. That was cool, but it was just people's artwork and their interpretations of shit. Which some of it was cool, but the rest of it, I'm like, it's not really doing anything for me. Let's go on to the next fucking floor. So the next floor was the entertainment floor. That was actually entertainment.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
You know, it had all the music genres from like.
They had like Satchmo and Sammy Davis Jr.
They didn't have him.
They didn't have Sammy Davis Jr.?
They didn't have him.
They didn't have Sammy Davis Jr.?
They had...
what the fuck is that? Because he was hanging out with the Rat Pack or some shit?
I don't fucking know, but he wasn't in there. But they had...
What?
They had...
He was too Jewish to be in the African American history.
Possibly. Museum. But they had all kinds of shit, man. They had BB... I was hoping that I see Lucille, but Lucille wasn't there. BB King's guitar.
She's probably at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm guaranteed she's there, but they had a guitar he played, you know. Alvin T. Ward, Jackson 5, shit. Like, they went through the history of the music and shit and whatnot, and that was cool. The entertainment part was cool. They had the fucking displays of all the comedians. Richard Pryor,
the Jeffersons.
Yep, they had that shit up. You know, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Dick Gregory. Like, they had all the entertainment.
I'm pretty sure Dick Gregory brought the Zapruder film to light.
Oh yeah.
Like, that dude's cool on like many levels.
A whole lot of shit because he got books and everything. Yeah. But they had the entertainment part.
Shout out Dick Gregory.
The part to me with the entertainment was like, I could see where the money went to when I walked down there and saw all this shit. Like, because they put work into the entertainment section. The sports section, went to the sports section. The only thing with the sports part of it that fucked me up was that they had a black person from every sport, you know, highlighted, you know, and they went down this line. They had the statues, they had things that, you know, they had Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and there was one more, Satchel Paige. They were talking about them for, you go to the basketball, you only had, that was on display was Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain, you know what I mean? But they were going into, Harlem Globetrotters. They was talking about them. They was talking about the Olympics. And the one thing that got me was when they was talking about Michael Johnson. I'm like, where's his gold shoes? And then I was like, hey, it's got to be in another museum somewhere, because you can't have Michael Johnson.
Runner?
Yeah, you can't have Michael Johnson without the gold shoes. Like, that was the fastest man back in 1992 Olympics.
I was going to say this was late early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was watching that, and then we go to the boxing. So Muhammad Ali got his own little section. Then he has another section of his boxing career.
Muhammad Ali.
But
Muhammad Ali's fucking cool.
While I'm going through the boxing,
like, you know what?
They don't have Tyson. They're not talking about Tyson, Sugar Ray, any of them cats.
No Sugar Ray Robinson or Sugar Ray Leonard?
None of them. Yeah. Like, I'm like, okay, whatever. So then we go to the military style. It starts during slavery and all the way to now, and it goes through the progression of black people throughout the military. They have a whole wall dedicated to those that got the Medal of Honor. Cool as shit, you know what I mean? I was like, because my uncle and they were in the military. My uncle was one of the top dudes in the Air Force, so I was like, I can understand this shit, and it was cool for me to see this shit. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Now let's go, because everybody was talking about how this fucking cafe there is the best fucking soul food you can get.
Oh,
this is what people said. I've seen reviews on this shit about the food being terrible. So everybody's hungry, because we had to walk. First we had to walk to this museum. It's like a 15-minute walk because there's no parking around this bitch, right? So, and then it's 4 miles total of walking through this motherfucking museum. If you do the whole fucking thing, it's 4 miles. Yeah. So, we go down to the bottom level. Now, the bottom level is where there was the interaction stuff that I didn't know. But I do remember that there were some badass little motherfucking kids running around, and one of the things is they had like a futuristic look at shit, which was alright. It was just fucking pictures and fucking some lights, nothing big.
A lot of this shit sounds pretty corny.
That was corny, but then where we was at, they had the Woolworth counter where you could sit at the counter where they had the fucking thing, and the
lunch counter that you weren't allowed to sit at.
Yeah, that they were telling the stories and all that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. The segregated train cars that were telling the stories. Like, I was like, okay, that part we missed because we didn't have time. Like, it was at that time everybody was tired from walking, and
sure.
We still got a 15-minute walk back, and now everybody's getting hungry. And the cafe had a fucking line that was just ridiculously dumb. So I was like, look, how about?
Was there anything about Soul Train?
Yes, Don Cornelius. He was in the entertainment spot, and I was trying to explain that shit to my kids who he was.
That's all I needed to know.
So
you're doing something right out there. Like.
So we're downstairs, and I'm like, yo, everybody's hungry. It's like we got there like 10 o'clock, and it's 1:30, something like that, right? So I'm like, all right, let's go on up here to the gift shop, see what they got. Now we go to the gift shop, bruh. They had some great books in there. Books I would have loved to have bought, but these books didn't have no prices.
And you know what that means.
So I already know it's too damn expensive.
Yeah, you can't afford it if you gotta ask.
I saw a fucking paperweight of Frederick Douglass, and I was like, oh,
that's
shit.
Cool. Do you have a fro?
Yeah, the fro and with the part and everything, man.
That's the best fro, dog. Yeah. Look, I've been saying since I was a little boy, I've wanted to have an afro with a part because of Frederick Douglass. I swear to God, more than anything else, Frederick Douglass was like, I used to see him on the wall.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that motherfucker got cool hair.
So I was like, yo, I'm going to get this fucking paperweight. I can put it up in the studio and I'll be good. So I went to go get this motherfucker, and I pick it up to take a look, see how much this shit costs to have you. This motherfucker's probably my 3 fingers right here. That's how big this motherfucker was. Right here, y'all. That right there, that big. Pick this bitch up, and it's like fucking $70. I was like, I love you, Frederick Douglass, but I ain't paying no $70 for a bust of you, paperweight. Like,
one of the few biographies I've read.
Yeah. And so but the books, there were so many books that I really wanted to get, and I'm like, you know what? No, I just made a note of it, and I'll get them myself and put them on Audible. I'm not paying this money, this ridiculous fucking markup price that you guys got. Like, I think fucking Sarah found some earrings that she liked, but they were fucking like $40 fucking. I'm like, no. She said, I'm not doing that shit. Like, she wanted to get something, but the shit was still damn expensive. I'm like, fuck it, let's just get out of here. We gotta get out of DC. Let's get something to eat. So
that's where they're making their money, though.
Oh, and I know that.
Like, you can come in for free, but you got to give me $70 for a bust of Frederick Douglass.
You know, and I get that. You know, but if I was like from Florida or something, maybe I would have probably done some shit like I'd have bought something. But because I'm from near this area.
It's funny, like, right? Like, this area sort of jades us in political stuff in a way. Because, like, I was listening to Tim Dillon, who's a comedian, and he has a podcast that he does. And he was talking about how the girl that resigned from the Secret Service is just going to have some job going into McLean and talking to fucking people that also work in the CIA and all this shit. And like, he was just hitting all these DC references, and I was like, yup. And he goes, and he literally stops and goes, and that's true, you might not know anything, but that what I'm saying, this is real stuff. I'm referencing real things in real places. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. If this is like a worldwide podcast, like, you don't know because you ain't from around here. You don't know all this stuff, but like, that's what's going on. Like, this is industrial military complex territory.
Bruh, this shit got crazy when we left. So
oh shit, because you was up in the city. What you see coming out of there?
So we get to the car. We're in the car. We go up 12. We turn on E. We are a quarter mile.
I don't even know what music to play, but it needs to be more suspenseful than the Soul Train soundtrack in the background.
So we get to fucking. I'm at the intersection of 12th E because I'm about to get on the expressway, right? And fucking all of a sudden, feds are going nuts. Like, all these motherfucking trucks are just shoo. They're going every fucking way all around us. Like, it's almost like, you know, when you fucking fuck with a swarm of bees and they're just flying around you.
Sure.
This is what the feds were doing. So I look over at Sarah, I'm like, babe, we gotta get the fuck out of the city, like, now. Something is happening right now. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, the feds are moving.
I wouldn't have gone into the city.
I said, something's not right. Like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, all we gotta do is turn. Like, I'm waiting on the light to turn green so I can go. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to fucking just
you're not trying to run red
with all these fucking feds just hauling ass around me.
Let me try to follow the law as I try to get away as quickly as possible. As nondescript as possible.
So while I'm seeing this shit, I'm like, hold on, y'all. I gotta cut on. I said, I'm cutting on WTOP. I gotta see what's going on because WTOP is gonna let me know what's happening, right?
Up to the minute news, WTOP, traffic and weather on the 8s.
As soon as my light turned green, a fed pulls in front of me and tells me to go the other way. And I'm like, I'm right here, motherfucker. God damn it. Just try to leave. I want to get out. I don't want to be here. I'm trying to go. God damn it. What the fuck, man? So he looks at me, he shakes his head, he goes, go that way. I said, motherfucker, fuck. So I go to turn to go back up the road, and I look down, and it's nothing but a horde of protesters, man. All these protesters because Netanyahu was up in fucking D.C.
Yep.
I thought he had left. No, what the fucker did was he was going his way to the White House to talk to the motherfuckers over there. So all them protesters...
They moved.
Out at rush hour, because it's 2:30 now. It's 2 o'clock, 2:30.
Saturday, yesterday?
No, this was on a Thursday. And they're fucking moving down the road. Man, I'm like, what the fuck? So I whip it back. I'm like, we gotta take 14th Street out. Let's get to 14th Street. If we can get down 14th Street, we good.
This is the theme song from a show called The FBI.
I got fucking the WTOP on, and they're telling me the protesters are on the move. They're going down Constitution at a slow pace. Traffic is getting heavy. 14th Street is already catching the volume.
And you were just trying to get away.
And I'm like, I need to get away from this shit. So I'm already in the middle of 14th. I'm like, all right, I see 395. I'm looking right at it like, all right, we almost there, y'all. If we can get right there, we're good. We got to get past the fucking museum we was just at. So I'm sitting there, man, and we're going through and motherfuckers, they don't. I appreciate the fact that people are ignorant when it comes to driving and they don't pay attention to what's going on.
Oh yeah, that
because
helps when you're the one that is
I'm the one that's paying attention. I know what's happening. I see where the protesters are. In my mind, I'm already averaging. By the time I get here, they should be at this fucking light. They're gonna already shut this part down. So I need to get
you're literally working against minutes here. Like you've got 5 minutes.
It's like I'm trying to defuse a bomb. You know what I mean? And I gotta go before the shit explodes. You know what I'm saying? So I look up and these assholes, there's a motherfucker doing some kind of work on the road. I'm like, oh hell no. And all these motherfuckers are going down like they don't see this motherfucker and the people emerging. Nobody sees this shit. I'm like, oh, y'all are fucking stupid because I ain't letting nobody in. Fuck y'all. I move on up. Then this motherfucker on this side of me he holds up traffic just enough because he was trying to turn and make a left. I'm like, bet. I cut back over and I run the light. I'm like, I'm not getting stuck at this light. I run straight through the light. The cops are standing there. They just watch me. I'm like, fuck y'all. I'm out. I know y'all are not coming to get me because you got to be there for the protesters that are about to come through.
Well, that's like there was a time I was driving in the city after a concert.
Yeah.
I was coming home from the 9:30 club and I was burning a joint. It was like a Friday or Saturday night. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like letting it all hang out. I was fucked up. You know what I mean? I was just burning this J. And I pull up to a stoplight and straight up, like every cop in that region goes by me. Like I'm going south and every cop in there is going east. There's like 8 or 9 cops with their lights on go flying by me while I'm sitting at the light, literally taking pulls on a J.
Hey, you're like, they ain't fucking with me. They got something more important to deal with.
I was like, every cop in this section of the city is occupied right now. I am good to go.
Look,
no
as soon as I ran the light, I look back and them cops walk out in the intersection, stop everybody. I'm like, yo, we made it. We made it.
That's dope.
We made it, yo.
You made it.
Yeah, I'm high-fiving myself. Everybody, my kids still went to sleep on me. Sarah laid back. She's about to go to sleep.
Dude, that is not what you needed.
Motherfucking self.
That is not where you needed to be.
I was like, man, fuck yeah, I got out of here before fucking protesters fucked my shit up. So I'm listening on WTOP as I'm heading out the city about how fucked up everything is right now. I'm like, nah, my black ass, I'm gone. Yeah, fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Shit, I'm out. Now, speaking of a joint, Snoop motherfucking Dogg. I gotta give this motherfucker credit. Snoop, you the motherfucking shit, period.
Did he fire up at the Olympic thing?
I want to say my sources told
I'd have
me
used that fucking
fucking right.
torch.
If he did not use the goddamn Olympic fucking torch to light a fucking blunt, I'd be disappointed in him.
Right? I'd have a real problem with that, Snoop.
Now, he probably couldn't have it on camera because it's the Olympics. They probably would have took offense to it. But if that motherfucker...
Well, you know, he
30
did it at
years
the Super Bowl.
now,
he did it at the Super Bowl.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. Like, 30 years from now, there's a story going to come out when Snoop had that torch. He said, yo, dog, you know what? I got something for this. I got me a special Olympic joint.
I got some special Olympic fire for this Olympic fire.
Let me use this Olympic joint here.
For shizzle.
You already know,
I'm going to use this Olympic flamizzle.
Snoop was fucked up during the opening ceremony. That motherfucker was so gassed, yo. Snoop was so crispy burnt, yo. That motherfucker was done.
Well done, Snoop.
Had me rolling in the opening ceremony. Because the opening ceremony, look, Olympics, I ain't give a fuck about it. There was one cool part I did like, and that was when they did the rock joint, when the motherfuckers was on like the castle kind of looking thing.
Oh,
and
no,
fucking
man.
had the fire and shit going, man. That
I didn't see nothing.
Have no idea what the fuck they were saying, but the shit was dope to me. I was like, oh, I like that one.
Was it in French?
All of it. All the performances were. There was, like, Lady Gaga came out and did some shit, and I didn't know. I guess she was French. I didn't know she was, but she sung her shit, some shit. I don't know. Have no idea what any.
I don't think she's French. She probably speaks it, though.
She was fluent in whatever song she was singing. But, you know, I mean, it sounded okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if you can learn the words to a song and not know the fucking words in reality.
That's also
you
true.
Know what I mean?
But so
it is all about the pronunciation.
Every performance they had was significant to France in some kind of way, because I was telling my kids, I'm like, every country that hosts the Olympics, they do their own opening ceremony with their own, you know, celebrities and things that are significant of that country.
Sure.
You know, but I thought it was going to be more so like performances on the water kind of shit. You know what I mean? Because they talked about how they're going to be coming down that little riverway.
Well, you know, the river Thames or whatever it is, right there.
Yeah, Thames.
There's been online a whole thing. There's an app you can get in France, and they were saying for the last couple of months, like if you want, because the prime minister or whatever was going to be going and swimming in the water as part of the opening ceremony. Yeah, trying to say, look how clean this water is. But everybody all over France, there's an app you can get, and it tells you the opening ceremony's at this time. So based on your location, if you go take a shit in the river right now, it'll reach Paris just in time for the.
Shut up.
Yeah, there was like an app for that. So like, yeah.
That's crazy.
Certainly not having any faith in that river being clean.
No, it's like it's similar to fucking Anacostia shit. They have the same traces of shit.
That's like different. Nobody around town is like, yo, let's go shit in the river so Anacostia is worse off.
Yeah, you know Anacostia gets fucked up because when it rains heavy, all the shit just rolls to that.
But as the Jew would say, if the white people want to go swim in that shit, that's whatever.
That's what they're gonna. Yeah.
Everybody's not like taking time out of their day, like let's go shit in the water because of those dumbass people who want to go swimming in it. But in France, they're like, hey, the prime minister's getting in, you know, Macron's getting in or whoever. Like, let's go take a shit in the water so that fucker's got to go swim in our doo-doo.
But I wasn't impressed with this opening ceremony. Like it was dull. Like it wasn't that spectacular to it, you know. Like I am a fan of the Olympics. You know what I mean? I really enjoy watching.
Putting it down, y'all. Mike is a fan of the Olympics.
I really am, man. I love watching the Olympics. Like, you know. And I'm telling my kids, like, this is the best of the best in this fucking country.
In the world.
In the world of this country.
Every country.
In their country that get to come and do this. This is only every 4 years. Some of these people, this is their first and last time ever being here. You know, like,
yeah, it's significant. It's special.
Yeah, so I'm like, I am entertained by this because these people here this is what they've done their whole life. Like Flavor Flav is the sponsor for the U.S. women's polo team because he heard that they needed money. They needed money, and they was working their jobs. They didn't have time to practice. He said, "Man, fuck that. I got you." And people are shocked that Flavor Flav can play the piano, and I'm like, you know what? These young heads don't understand. Flavor Flav is a musician. He might be the best hype man under the fucking sun, but Flavor Flav can
He's a whole lot better than Spliff Star.
Yeah, Flavor Flav can fucking. He can produce. He can play the drums. He plays the fucking.
He's a Renaissance man. He's an actor. He does his thing on a TV screen with the ladies trying to sleep with him because he's not. He's a buffoon. He presents as a buffoon.
Yeah,
and that's why people don't take him serious.
But Flavor Flav is very fucking intelligent, and they're like, "Oh my god, I didn't know he could play the piano like that." And I'm like, "Huh? Where the fuck you been at?" Flav been doing this shit since way back Wild Willa.
Look, if you didn't know once 911 as a joke happened that dude's a serious person, like, then you know you're not paying attention.
Nah, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? But the opening ceremony sucked to me. I didn't care for it. Then they had the controversial shit with the trans people depicting the 12 Jesus and the Last Supper shit, apparently.
Yeah, the Last Supper depiction.
And then the pale horse, Death drives pale horses, all this other shit. They're like,
well, but
they're putting it in your face, y'all. Look at it. I don't give a fuck. Well, I don't care.
What they're saying is that it's like a cult ritual shit that's like, look, we're about to have a war and a lot of fucking death. Yeah. And that's why they're doing it. And I don't know. We're definitely on the verge of having a big ass war and a lot of death.
That's a lot of shit.
You know, like that's not disputable in my book. But how much the fucking Olympics are trying to like make a statement about like the state of the world and how fucked it is, I don't know. But I know they're trying to like push, like, hey, let's like let everything be acceptable, and I'm all for things being acceptable. But like I've reached a point with all of this stuff, like the gay shit, I look at it just like religion. I don't want it around. And as far as deeply ingrained in whatever institute, like I think that the government or the sports leagues or whatever, like I don't want to see crosses or stars. I don't want to see religion shit, whether it's fucking this gay thing that doesn't call it religion,
Yeah.
still feels the need to like make everyone adhere to it. All this like
Yeah, it's like, here, you're gonna take this regardless. I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. You're gonna accept it.
Exactly. And
I don't care if you don't like
and
it. Fuck you.
I don't like that any way you slice it. Like, you should have the right to be involved with that. Like, if you want it to be in your school, send your kid to that school. Like, there should be a Catholic school. There should be a whatever pride school.
Yeah.
If you want your kid to go to pride school, that's great. But public school that my tax dollars pay for to send your kid to for free, that shit should be like, here's math, here's science, here's history,
here's basic
English.
shit you need to fucking know.
Here's how to think. Now go think.
Yeah,
Go learn
yeah.
something. Go pick up some books and fucking read something and learn something. And not like a whole bunch of like, we're gonna fly a bunch of pride flags. I don't want that shit in there any more than I want crosses or stars of David or any of that other shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I don't want any of that around. And like, I'm annoyed by it because like I've always been like pro equality in the sense that like these people should be able to live their lives and be who they want to be authentically.
Absolutely.
And not have to worry about being like kept from a job or fucking forced to not be able to see the person they love if they're in the hospital.
Yes.
Or any of this kind of stuff. Like, and that to me is just like real basic common sense, like common freedom shit. But like these sides, they don't see it like that. They see it like, no, you're gonna like submit and bow down, and you're gonna call people what we tell you to call them. And
because if you don't like it, like somebody would look at you and be like, "Oh, you're homophobic now." That just means you're homophobic,
right?
Just
exactly.
because you don't like it because you're homophobic.
No, well, that's why I went to my gay cousin's wedding, and then my other gay friend's wedding because like I'm homophobic because I don't support people loving who they want to support, who they love. Like that shit's ridiculous. But look, I support polygamy in the grand scheme of things. Like, but you should be able to do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
If the people that you're involved with want to be involved with you, then that's up to you. But like, you shouldn't be able to like force me into anything in regard to what you're doing.
Bruh, Dwayne Wade is a commentator for the basketball. And
for the Olympic basketball?
Yes. This morning I watched Team USA play. To me, they look like shit. That's just my opinion.
Well, but that's because you came up watching like
the real dream team.
Like, you're not even that into basketball, but you know when we beat Argentina or whoever it was, like we were beating teams, we were beating the brakes off of people.
Yeah.
I saw a stat that said Jordan had 10 points, 8 steals in 18 minutes of a game that they won like 116 to 47.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's just Jay's stats in that game where he didn't even play 20 minutes. And like they got like, and it showed another stat that was like the height difference between like the guys on different teams.
Mexico and shit.
And how guys were 6, 7, 8 inches taller than the guy that they were playing against.
Now, bruh, I'm gonna tell you some shit. The US team looks shitty to me starting off, and I'm like, it's not the same. I guess because I know basketball's changed so much.
Yeah, it's totally different.
It's not the same that I enjoyed. It's all this out here. Everybody's got to bust a three. Everybody's got to bust a three.
They're not banging in the boards.
Yeah. I'm like, and then when they're there, they all soft. You know what I mean?
They're all complaining. They're all flopping.
Yeah, like LeBron started complaining to the fucking refs. They come in, they get
barely touched, and they're like, "Hey, come on, man, he touched me."
And Dwayne Wade's like, "Look, man, he can't go to these refs like he goes to the refs up in the U.S. because they don't give a fuck who you are.
Play the game, whoever you are. That's right.
Yeah. So
quit trying to sway us with fucking calls. Play the game.
Yeah.
Play the game better.
Here's the thing, though, that got me.
So calls don't fucking matter.
Here's the thing that got me with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade had a saying, and he said it multiple fucking times throughout the fucking broadcast that just irked my fucking nerve.
Okay, what did he say?
So LeBron would do something. He was like, "Oh, yo, I know him personally. His pronouns are he, him."
Are you fucking kidding me?
Shit you not.
What?
Yeah. He said that multiple times about LeBron, right? I'm like, what the fuck? He goes by his pronouns are he, him. I know him personally. He says his pronouns are he, him.
He says people's pronouns. Did he say it about anybody other than LeBron?
KD did something because KD was lighting them up. KD came out there. Now, that's who I was impressed with. KD was working the boards.
Kevin Durant.
He was out there motherfucking busting shots.
From DC.
This motherfucker was out there holding it. Like, you could see LeBron getting jealous. You could see it in his face. face.
Because KD was just
LeBron,
he was just doing his thing.
KD was out there handling shit. LeBron was trying to be all Mr. Facial expressions, all the other shit. Like, you could see that KD getting the hype with the crowd and all that shit. You can see it was irking LeBron. You can see it fucking with him. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, look at that. LeBron throwing some shade. KD ain't paying no mind, but I can see this shit. I'm watching this happen, right? So fucking KD hits a fucking buzzer joint at the end, just steals the bitch, goes up, shoots it, bam, buckets. Here go Dwayne Wade. I know him personally. His pronouns are he, him. His pronouns are he, him. And I'm like, what the fuck? I said, man.
See, it has gone too far. I just want to watch basketball. I don't care what his pronouns are. I assume he's a he, him, because he's playing in the men's league. I don't need that. I don't need this, Dwayne.
This is the shit that fucked me up.
I don't need this shit, and that don't make me homophobic because I don't care about your pronouns.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching this shit, and I'm laughing my ass off at this bullshit, right? So fucking, then he says it about himself.
My pronouns are he, him.
He was talking to the guy that's with him. He goes, they were talking about something that Dwayne Wade did in his Olympics.
Well, Dwayne, one time you were in the Olympics and your pronouns back then were he, him.
They were talking about shit about how, I guess he wanted the shot, but such and such took the shot and got it. He was like, well, he know me personally, and my pronouns are, and he stops, and I'm like, you punk motherfucker, really?
He didn't complete it?
No, he didn't complete it.
He said his pronouns were, but he didn't say what they were?
Yeah.
Dwayne, what are your pronouns, dog?
I'm like,
are you a he or a she?
Are you? Am I gonna have to hear this shit every time I watch the basketball?
All Olympics long.
And fucking as soon as somebody, Steph Curry, he hitting it from downtown. I know him personally. His pronouns are he, him. Like, bitch, is that gonna be in a video game soon? Like, you plan on putting that in EA Sports?
Well, think about it. If you're playing the NBA game, so you got NBA Live on EA Sports, and there are, at this point, they're going to have the WNBA teams in there too. So you're going to be able to play as like Caitlin Clark against fucking. I think they've got it like that on 2K. I don't think NBA Live is made at this point, but I'm pretty sure they got WNBA teams on there, so you could be out there like Caitlin Clark takes a three. Her pronouns are he and she and her.
Look, I just thought of something fucking dumb. Take NBA Street. He's on fire. He's on fire.
They're on fire.
His pronouns are he, him. On fire. He, him is in the building.
He, him is on fire.
The fuck, man?
He, him's heating up.
Yeah.
She, hers heating up.
They, them. It's on fire.
Caesar's on fire.
I'm like, what in the fuck? When you make your avatar in a game, now that's gonna be a choice. That's gonna be a choice.
Like, what are your genders in the avatar world? How many different ways do you line yourself up? What options do I'm intersectionally? Non-binarily.
I was like, what the fuck? But when I heard him say it the first time,
I'm non-determinative. My pronouns are non-determinative.
When he said it the first time, I'm like, all right, that's just his thing. But then when he kept saying it, I'm like, oh, he's trying to make this a thing right now. I said, okay, here we go. Let's see what the fuck he gonna do next time, because I think they play Puerto Rico next. I think it is that they play.
Jesus.
I think that's tonight.
See, but that's all that shit that I'm talking about. I don't want all that in there.
Yeah, it's no need.
Just play the game. Tell me did he make his shot?
LeBron doing his thing. LeBron's the oldest player out there on the court right now. Blah blah blah. This might be LeBron's last Olympics. I
think that a lot of the problem with a commentator that used to play, a lot of the times, like, they're dumb. By comparison, the people you normally hear speak.
Yeah, but that's just it. Dwayne Wade is not a dumb motherfucker.
Well, he's got a bit of a thing going for himself.
He definitely does.
It makes him into a bit of a dummy to listen to. Like,
but that shit,
I don't want to hear about pronouns all the time.
When he kept saying it, that's when I'm like, oh no, he's trying to push something now. Now he's pushing the button. He's shoving it in your face.
He's trying to normalize something. That is not. I don't know. Like, I don't want to non-normalize it. Like, I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, if you are a chick, like, if I see you and you're clearly trying to identify as a lady, I'm gonna presume you're a lady.
Yeah.
But like, I also don't really care about a lot of the traditional gender normalities per se. Like, example, I was at the gym. I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I was at the gym the other day. I think it happened this week, so I'm sure I didn't mention it to you.
Yeah.
But, you know, there were these, you know how I like skinny girls? There were some skinny girls there. I'm like, hey, check out that skinny chick.
Yeah.
And she's hanging out with some other older chick. There's like 3 chicks, there's 2 younger skinny ones, and I was like, hey, I noticed them, and then I see that they're hanging out with this older chick. Who's got short hair, right? So I see the short-haired chick, and at some point I'm like, all right, I'm going to go, I don't know if I was going to take a piss or if I was going to take a shower to leave or what.
Yeah.
But I was going to go to the locker room. So I'm walking into the locker room, and I'm walking behind this lady with the short hair that's the older woman that was with the skinny chick.
Yeah.
And she walks past the ladies' room, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then she turns into the men's room. And I thought to myself, I looked at this other dude that was walking by. He didn't look at me.
Yeah.
And I looked back, and I was like, okay. And I just shrugged my shoulders, and I was like, maybe she identifies as a dude, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really care. Like, I'm going to go in here and do whatever I'm going to go in here and do.
Yeah.
And she walks in through the locker area where there's lockers and gets all the way to the door where, like, there's 2 urinals and 2 shitters right in front of you.
Yeah.
She gets all the way to there, and then she turns around and leaves. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess you are not paying attention to your surroundings.
She just kept on walking.
She just
walking to walk.
She's just walking into the locker room and didn't realize that it was not her locker room.
Yeah.
You know, but like, I didn't say anything. I wasn't like, say, bitch, you went in the wrong room. I was just like,
yeah, fuck, if you're going
whatever.
here, you're going here. That's the thing.
Right, like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. You know, I'm not like, hey, you're not allowed to use the shitter here. Because I'm not comfortable with who you identify as. Like, go take a shit. Try not to fuck it up. Don't clog the toilet.
Spray some poopery, something. Like,
like everything is so overblown and over important.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, yo, chill the fuck out, you Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Just relax, man. Be yourself.
That's really all it is.
And don't fucking try to force me to go along with
because
whatever.
at the end of the fucking day, you're not dead from whatever happened. You know, like people were upset with the shit that happened at the Olympics. Did it kill you? No. Did it irk your nerve? Yeah, irk your nerve. So what? Guess what? You can do what I did. You kind of cut it off and go to bed.
Well, right. I think that I think people don't like it that don't like it, but I think a lot of the people that don't like it are not nearly as rambunctious about it that they could be, which I kind of appreciate. I'm like, well, you know, it seems like it's a big deal on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram, but everybody's trying to stir that pot to get. Exactly. Hey, we got to get somebody going.
It's the division.
Yeah,
it's the division pot.
We got to get some people got to get mad about this now. We got to make somebody got to get mad about it.
Well, and I think that's the real gripe that I have with a lot of these movements is that it's like we're just gonna like go for being mad.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
not fix anything.
Don't you remember when Martin Luther King Jr. said that like love is what drives out hate, not more hate? Like, so why is everybody normalizing hate? Yeah. I don't get it, man. Like, I'm trying to push that peace and love shit.
Like, it's because what's his name? Fucking, I think I might have saved the quote too because fucking Lil Duval put some shit out. And I was like, you know what? That does make perfect fucking sense what he just put out there. And I was like, you know, let me see if I got it here. I should before we close out anything. But my shit ain't working right now, so we might have to bring it back on the next episode or some shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, we're gonna have to bring this episode of the Mason and Friends show to a close.
Oh yeah.
We'd like to thank you so very much for listening or watching. We'd like to encourage you to watch and listen to old episodes as well as new episodes.
Please like, share, subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Tell your friends, don't bogart this bitch. Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Kyle. Shout out to Splinter. Shout out to Kurt. Shout out to all you bad motherfuckers
all
out
the
there.
Ship crew.
Been riding with us. Shout out to Jesse, Biggie's cousin. Shout out to Biggie. Bring your dumb ass on sometime. Do your thing. Come on now.
I got a shout out too, man. My homie Robbie up there in Ocean City, Out of the Blank podcast, man. Shout out to my homie, man. I jumped on his shit. It should be dropping sometime here in the near future. He hit me up, man. We shot the shit for a while, man. Caught up with each other. Didn't realize how long we've known each other until we started, talking and shit. So it was good catching up with him. So shout out to him, my homie.
Right on.
Cross the bridge, cross that water. Yeah. And Go Team USA.
Amen,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Fucking-
Absolutely. Root
If you
for
take time, go watch fucking the Olympics, man. Watch some shit you ain't never watched before. I watched rugby and water polo, bro.
watch some shit to remind you you're an American and not whatever the fuck it is that makes you hate the thing that you hate.
Huh?
You know.
Yeah.
Try to remind yourself of something good in
Root
your
for
life.
some motherfuckers, man, trying to do something out there.
Root for people that are trying to better themselves and be the example of what their sport is.
Oh man.
Like Simone Biles and these badass motherfuckers out here ripping shots.
Man, there was this Colombian chick I saw this morning killing it.
Well, dude, it's like a few years ago, the skateboarding shit. Like, I was so enthusiastic for the girls skateboarding. Like,
Bruh, you talk about some unity with the skateboarders.
they're the best.
The bus broke down on the way to the arena where they do the skateboarding shit at. All of them cats got off the bus, was like, yo, we good. Rode their skateboards through fucking Paris, man, to the fucking arena, yo. I was like, that's tight shit. And they all kicking it with each other.
And they're together.
That's what's, yeah.
The thing about skating that I'm very much a fan of is you hit a trick, somebody might beat you, and you go pat them on the back, you hit them on the helmet, you shake their hand, you high five them, you tell them they did a good job, you give them a hug. Like, that's beautiful, man.
Like,
skating,
yo, that shit was dope, dude. That shit was tight right there, man. Keep on getting it, yo.
Right.
Hold on, man. I gotta try that.
It's one of the purest of
camaraderie.
I can't think of the term.
Sportsmanship.
Based on performance.
Yeah.
Like, you get where you get based on performance. So, anyway, thank you again for listening. And don't forget, we love you very much.
Love y'all.
And peace be with you.
Gone.